Alright, so in today's video, we're going to go over this brand new redesigned Eagle 22-inch mower. This is the LM2244SP-2. You can get it in different configuration as tool only option or with batteries. There are two models. This one has the two 6-amp batteries with 2 ports, and then you could get the one with a single port with a 10-amp battery. The reason I chose this one is because I could use these batteries on my other Eagle products and they're not so heavy. This one here also comes with a side discharge included in the package. The dual battery 280 watt per side charger, which is a very good charger. And one of the new features that it has is a mulch and bagging lever, which I love that you don't have to insert the mulch plug any longer. You do have the 2.5 bushel bag for collecting, collapsible handle, nice and clean, no cables. You have an LCD display, which is very, very nice. On the single port mower, it only comes with the regular display, not the LCD display. So I chose this one for that reason. Now you do have between a 1 and 4 inch cutting height capacity with 8 settings, single lever, which is very nice. You have a 10-year warranty composite deck, 5-year warranty on the tool, 3-year warranty on the battery. So always remember to register your product. It does have an up to 10.6 cutting torque capacity, which is more than your average gas-powered mower, which is fantastic. You do have an up to 90 minutes of runtime with the dual 6-amp batteries, which is probably more than what I need for my 11,000 square foot lot. You do have dual blades installed, and you have an extra blade that comes with the unit for a high lift blade. So many options with this unit. You do have about 3,200 RPM brushless motor. You do have LEDs on the mower if you don't want to cut in the evening or early in the morning. It has many great features. We're going to go over all the pros and the cons, take it out for a little test drive, see how it performs. So if you have any questions or comments, you know what to do. Don't forget to like and follow. Check out some of our links. They do help out the channel. All right, so let's go ahead and start off by showing you, this is the charger. It's not the fast charger. It's not the 200 watt. It is 280 watts per side. Pretty much tells you right there, 2 times 280 watts. All right, very nice. It's way more quieter than the original one that I have, that I've had in the past. So you could go ahead and charge both batteries at the same time. It does have a cooling fan, and super sweet. I mean, you can't put it on the wall, at least not that I can see, but I'm pretty sure that you could buy other ones that you can. You know, the single one that I have, that's 320 watts. I do have it on the wall, and it's a nice little feature. All right. All right, so this is the side discharge. You know, you have the nice logo on there. You have some little clips where you could, install it. We're gonna go ahead and show you how to do it now. Very easy. It does come included in the package, and it does shoot to the left side. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and install the side discharge. Very easy. You're gonna line up this one and this one where you actually put the bag, and then the top of the cover will actually line up right here to keep it nice and sturdy. Okay. Or sometimes they will have a little magnet or something to hold it while you do something. So you're gonna line up the hole in the bottom, the top. It's a little loose, so once you put the cover on it, nice and sturdy, you have your side discharge. And to take it off, 2 seconds, and you're pretty much good to go. All right, so this is pretty much your handle with all the controls. You have your speed control here, and then you can turn it off. It tells you right there. Very, pretty much standard how they had it before. Okay, and it gives you a feedback on the display, which is very nice. It tells you both batteries, the percentage that it's full, if you're on eco, normal, or turbo, and if you have your LEDs on and off. It basically tells you pretty much everything here as a feedback. Okay, and you could change from turbo to eco. So if you want to, make your batteries last a little longer to finish that job, you could put it on eco, normal, or turbo. Okay. Handle is redesigned. It's very nice and gooey. It's not plasticky. Good grip. You got these little ridges right here. Super sweet. So here is your forward. This is your engagement, and you have it on both sides. I like the fact that it doesn't have a long throw for it, and you don't have to activate your blade to make the mower go forward. Okay. One of the things I did notice about the mower is when you do engage the actual self-propelled, it does kind of lift up like an inch, and then it kind of goes down again. I'm not really sure if it's a flaw in the design or it's designed like that. That way it doesn't give you that jerk that the older ones used to give you, which I owned one before, and one of the reasons I sold it is because of that. I really didn't like the self-propelled system. It was very jerky, So it's a possibility that, you know, they did it for that reason. I personally like adjustable levers where I could adjust the speed on it without having to adjust it here. That's my personal preference from years of cutting. I'd rather have something where I could adjust it with my thumb, even though, you know, it does get tiring after a while, but that way I don't have to be constantly doing this. So, but that's my personal preference. So we're gonna test it all out, see how it actually works. And like I said, you have this great LCD display. Now the one that does have the single battery port, comes with a 10 amp battery, only has a regular display. It's not LCD, so keep that in mind. This kind of matches my 880 blower. That is really, really awesome. Just did the review on that if you want to check it out. All right. All right, so one of the great features that this mower has is your mulch and bagging lever. So now it's on 100% mulching, and you could do maybe 80% mulch, 20% bagging. Here you have your 50% option. You have your bagging and mulching, and the same thing goes with the bag. And then you could do 100% bagging. Really love this option. You don't have to insert a mulch plug, which is a pet peeve for me. All right, so this is your battery storage compartment. You do have a green translucent section there, so you can see the actual, you know, battery charge, which is very nice. Very easy to remove. Press the button, battery comes out. And like I mentioned, these are 6 amp batteries, and you have both of them. Very nice. So always register your batteries. Okay, register your product for your warranty. Very nice. The cover stays open, and you just close it, and it's got little magnets. Absolutely beautiful. You do have a handle right here to pick it up. It doesn't have a handle in the front like some of the other models, but you do have a handle right here. All right, so this is your cutting height control. You do have 8 settings here between 1 to 4 inches in cutting height. All right, you do have numbers on here. Okay, so you have to look at the manual to see which one it represents. Very easy, it's spring loaded. To go down, it goes really easy. Okay, but to go up, you have to kind of, you know, push it a little bit. But it's definitely pretty sweet. You don't have to do individual wheels on this one. Right, so here you have your 3 adjustable lever. You have high, medium, and low. Very easy, press on it. You know, if you want high, which is normally locks in automatically, you got your medium and you have your low. If you want to collapse it or you want to remove the bag, and you could go right to the setting or press it one more time, and then it'll go into your stowaway option. Very easy, one lever, and it always lands on the high. Okay, for me, I use it on medium. I'm not too tall, and that's where I will be using it. All right, so here you do have your twin blades. Things are extremely sharp. If you're ever going to work on it, make sure you remove the batteries all the time. You have an extremely smooth deck. This is composite with the 10-year warranty. Okay, so very, very nice. And you do have the optional that comes with it, a high lift blade. So here you can tell it's got the higher lift. Nice cut. Okay, so this is good for mulching, and you still have a lift on it, but not as much as this one. It is included in the package, so you don't have to buy it. Here you do have ball bearings on each of the wheels, which is nice, and you have a great design for support, so just in case if you drop the mower, it doesn't, you know, land and you know, crack any of the inside. So nice support. The tires are, you know, kind of gooey, but not too plasticky, so they seem to be pretty, you know, strong. Really like these little fins right here. Kind of guides the grass blades to stand up. So when you get it with the dual blade, you get a nice smooth cut. You don't get any little stragglers, you know, laying around. So we'll see how effective this little setup is. Here you have, this is the cover that moves, and you have the bagging and the mulch option. So as you move your lever, you can see it closes up. Here you do your, maybe your 10% or whatever the case may be. Here you have your 50%, and then your full, you know, bagging option. Really love this. I hate inserting a mulch plug. You know, so you do have, like I mentioned, your, you know, composite 10-year warranty deck. Here you have your, I believe it's plastic transmission. You have a metal shaft. These are cast aluminum. You have your little flap here in the bottom. All right, you can replace it if need to be. Okay, but nice little setup back here. I believe the aluminum deck one comes with an aluminum transmission, and I believe that they should all come with aluminum transmission, but you know, we'll see how durable. Only time will tell. All right, as far as the 2.5 bushel bag, very easy to remove. Okay, grab it, and to install it, you do have these little metal tabs right here, and they will fall into these two sections. Super easy to install, and that's pretty much it. One of the things I did notice, it only has a single layer on the top, and what happens a lot of the times in dry season, you will get a little bit of a dust going through it. So we're gonna see if we have a little bit of dust that it'll go you know, through it. What I've done in the past, I sprayed some undercoating in just this section, or some of the older mowers that I've owned, they have a dual layer on the top only, and then single on the sides. That way it breathes, and then you get, you know, all the leaves a little bit easier in the bag. But it seems to be single, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, and it's got the beautiful, you know, logo on there. All right, so when you're ready for storage, very, very simple. You're gonna start right here. I'm clicking this one, pushing it in, and then you hit your lever, go all the way forward. Once it locks in, then you're able to put up, and that's pretty much it. All right, so to build the mower ready for action, very, very easy. I'm gonna bring it down. This mower without batteries is about 65 pounds, so it is a little heavy. Handle always lands on the high position. I'm on medium, at least for my height. Remove that. You gotta bring it all the way out, lock it in, and then you're pretty much ready to rock and roll. I wish that this was adjustable to about, let's say, here or so, because I'm short, but it won't let you lock it in or won't let you engage the blade. But another thing that I would have loved to have it like the aluminum version, that it doesn't have this in the middle, so when you're doing the bag, you can take the bag out through here and you don't have to move, you know, this big handle. But you know, other than that, I guess we could get used to that. All right, so let's go ahead and try out the side chute, see how it performs. So I can see some of the mulch. I mean, it's not really being cut twice because it's coming out the side chute, or the rear chute, but it's definitely smaller than my previous mower. Alright, so I can still see some little stragglers here and there. Alright, right there, right there. It's on medium right now, so it's not full blast, but yeah, definitely here and here. Pretty much, actually you see a lot. I see a lot of stragglers. Wow. One here, here, here. All right, definitely a bit of stragglers. I would say more than normal, where I could see. All right, let's go ahead and put it on full. See if we get a little bit better option. All right, so look at the dust on the mower. coming out of the bag. In the area that is very dry, little dust is coming in my face. All right, so like I mentioned before, this is all full of dust, especially around here, the leaves around this tree. When it's dry season, like, you know, like now, it hasn't rained in a few days, the whole machine is full of dust. And you know, it's okay, it doesn't bounce much. It's pretty good balance, especially with the 2 batteries out there. All right, but definitely, you know, the dust does get a little bit in your face coming out of the bag. So let's go ahead and dump out. And this is what I mentioned, this thing's in the way. If not, I could take it out from the top, or you could go ahead and do this every time. Take the bag out, which is a little easier. Right, so if you look in here, you can see everything has been pushed all the way to the back, which is pretty good. It hasn't clumped up in this area, so the tunnel works fantastic. I really like how it shoots, you know, all the grass to the back. Pretty much, you know, it's cut up pretty decent sizes. It is a little bit better than my current gas mower with a single blade. Okay, so if you were to mulch, I'm pretty sure it'll cut it up in a little bit better pieces with a dual blade. All right, so let's go ahead and install the high lift blade to see if we get a little bit more of a lift on it. So using your 14mm socket, very easy. Remove the batteries, please. Okay. You have your main bolt in the center. And then you have these, maybe like a little holder with a flat screwdriver. Let's see if we don't need to hold it. Perhaps we could just spin it. Oh, yeah, there we go. Super easy. Little locking nuts. All designed. I gotta tell you, these blades are pretty thin. They flex a lot. So it tells you right there, you know, which way it's gonna go. I'm gonna do the same configuration. Alright, it tells you right there. This is the bagging lower blade, it says here. Where is it? Alright, it tells you right there, this side facing grass. Okay? Put your locking nut back on there. All I gotta do is press down on it and it kind of like self holds itself. Alright, make sure there's no gap in between the 2 blades. But I gotta tell you, look at these blades are so flimsy. Look at that. See, look at that. I know they have to be light for the battery to last. If not, the battery will, you know, won't last as much. When you use the lift blade, you are gonna probably run a little bit more of the battery because it's gonna take more effort for the motor. Okay. It's got a little bit of paint on it. You have your washer. It has a little flat spot on it. So you're gonna go to the flat spot. Alright, make sure the flat spot goes in. Tighten by hand all the way. And we're pretty much good to go. Make sure that the sharp edges are all facing the correct way. And the lift goes towards the inner deck. Alright, let's try it out. Alright, so let's see how loud it is. Just the Eco, then we'll do normal, and then we'll do turbo. Alright, we got about 78 on low. almost 81 on normal. Let's try turbo. Almost 82 on turbo. So all right, let's try it out with the transmission. Kind of like a medium. See how loud it gets, along with the turbo. Alright, we got about 85.4. So you can still hear the transmission on this one. It's about medium. Alright, so let's go ahead and try just the self-propelled by itself on medium, see how it sounds. As you can see, it's about 79.9 decibels. Quite screechy, a little bit annoying. And that's one of the things that, you know, don't like about some of these electric mowers. I've tried others in the past, like the Echo, and it was actually much quieter. So Eagle try to make some improvements on the sound of the self-propelled. Right here was going to be picking up the grass, and it left this on the sides. Okay, I don't remember if it was the left side or the right side, but definitely left this behind. All this right here, and all this section here was kind of high. I think it was pretty high, like that much. So definitely, I mean, one great thing about the mower, when it actually was on turbo, it still kicked in when the grass was really high. The power is just really, really amazing. I noticed that it does get a little bit of clippings on the deck. Right now I was bagging, and if you lift up, you know, you just get a little bit inside, not too much, but definitely. So we're on number 4 here, and we're doing mulching with a high lift blade, and I see some stragglers, you know, here. The quality is good, but it's not perfect. Okay, you see more stragglers right here. Okay, and that was actually, the wheel was here and here, and here's what the mulch will look like. Just like I mentioned before, a little bit of clumping on the sides, and right where the wheel is, see a little bit of clumping, stragglers here and here, here. And like I mentioned, the wheels was here and here. So I see quite a bit of stragglers with the high lift blade. You would think with the high lift blade, you know, you will get you know, a lot of suction, and then it will, you know, pick up the grass and mulch it better. All right, right here, right here, and right here. All right, so if I keep on going, I see more. There. Alright, so right here. Okay. Right, so I just cut this little piece just to get an idea. I don't know if you can see it. Alright. Like I say, it's okay, but it's not 100%. Right, so one of the things about electric lawnmowers is that it does have still a little delay after you press the button. And obviously, you know, the winding noise from the motor is still a little annoying. So let's see. Let's see how it takes a fraction of a second. All right, so we're at 45%. We're gonna go ahead and cut the back. Normally on my previous lawnmowers with the 5-amp batteries, at this pace right here, I wouldn't be able to finish the backyard. So I'm assuming with the power we have left and running on normal, now we have the high lift blade, so it's going to probably consume a little bit more. The grass here is a little high here and there. I do have a lot of weeds I got to work on, so I'm not judging. Summer's coming, it's getting hot. Okay, so one of the issues that I have with my current mower is like when I go up this slanted on the lake, I have to kind of end up pushing it even though it's self-propelled. So this new mower here, it has plenty of power, so there's no need for it. Alright, so we're all done. It's on turbo. Still got 29% battery life, and everything is nice and cut. Love the fact that I could climb the sections by the lake without having to push the mower. This thing's got so much power, and even on turbo, when it hits like a lot of tall grass, it will ramp up just a little bit more. Really, really nice. I like that option. Look how sweet this thing looks at night. Beautiful display. Pretty dark. Turn on the LEDs. Looks beautiful. Excellent lighting. All right, so final thoughts on the Eagle mower. Now this thing is a fantastic option. Let's go over some of the pros. And definitely the power, the 10.6 foot-pounds of torque is absolute beast. I really like that. You do have a great balance, even with a bag full of clippings. It doesn't move around too much. You do have the dual batteries, LCD display for feedback. You have side discharge, dual blades, extra lift blade, 2.5 bushel bag. You have 10-year warranty on the deck, 5-year warranty on the unit, and 3-year warranty on the battery. Fantastic. Price-wise, I think you're getting a lot of options for the price, especially the new redesigned mulch and bagging lever, which I love that. I don't have to insert a mulch plug. So for me, it's a plus. The option that you could store it against the wall, and you do have some LEDs if you ever want to use them. So let's go over some of the cons. Now I'm kind of used to adjustable levers for the speed. This one has a option here to turn on, and you do have like a little bit of a jerk, not too much, not like some of the previous models that you had before. The mower itself goes up a little bit, like an inch, and then comes right back down, and I think it's to absorb that little jerk from the button here. It also has a very, very small delay when you press it and the mower starts moving. And one of the things that I kind of, my pet peeve as far as these electric mowers, it is the self-propelled motor. It makes this whining noise. It's kind of annoying, especially if you're above the 25% speed. It powers the sound of the regular blade and the motor, even at turbo. So if you're really fast speed, you're gonna hear a little whining noise, and it could get annoying after a while. All right, so if they could actually make the self-propelled a little bit lower sounding, it'll be a much better option. This cross member here on the handle, even though it's a nice clean handle with no cables, so it looks really, really nice. But when you're bagging, I like to take the bag out through the section here in the center. You have to put the actual handle into the upright position, remove your bag, put it back in, bring the handle back. That's, it makes it a little bit easier for me. They do have that option with the all aluminum deck mower, so I think they should bring that option here. Also, I believe that they should also integrate an adjustable speed instead of the buttons. That's, you know, my personal opinion. As far as the lift, you know, handle for, you know, your cutting height, I really like the fact that it's one handle, but it shows between 1 and 8. So it's not giving you the exact cutting height. If it's 1.5, give me 1.5. Make the labels a little bit more, you know, visible than the way it is right now. But other than that, the mower, you know, pretty strong. It feels solid. There is a little bit of plastic rattles when you're on uneven terrain, but other than that, it's no big deal. Cutting quality is pretty decent, even though it left some stragglers here and there. That are pretty much all my mowers have always left some stragglers. And when I was doing some mulching, it left like some little clumps here and there. So, you know, definitely it's not, you know, a 10 on the cutting quality. And as far as the, you know, experience using the mower, I probably give it about a 7 because of the little whining noise from the self-propelled. And as far as the quality of the unit, I give it about a 9, and it looks fantastic. So if you're going to pick one up, check out some of our links. They do help out the channel. And normally what I do is I order online at Lowe's.com, use my Lowe's credit card, get 5% discount. Once ready, I go pick up, headache free. So if you want to check that out, it does help out the channel. Don't forget to like and follow. And if you have any questions or comments, you know what to do. See you guys next time.